Welcome, everyone. Good evening, and I am thrilled that you are all here this evening, taking time out of your busy schedules to join me on this webinar all about spring fashion. And it is going to be jam-packed full, and we are recording it, so there will be a replay. In what to wear and what not to wear, and what to leave in the stores. And I'm so happy that you're here this evening, and I'm going to pour into you as much as I possibly can in our short amount of time together. But if you would like to go deeper with this topic and figure out some of your style issues, I'm going to let you know how you can do that at the end of the webinar. So you want to stay tuned for that. So make sure you have your paper and your pens handy for lots of note taking, because I'm going to, really kind of talk a lot and give you a lot of information. And, many of you know I talk fast, so I want to get as much in as I possibly can. And what you're going to leave the webinar tonight knowing is how to look stylish and sexy no matter what your age this spring. And you're also going to learn how to be current and modern. And I'm always about not breaking the bank. So I'm very conscious of that and want you to get the most out of the clothes and the mileage out of the clothes as you possibly can. So that's why I'm going to tell you some of the hits and the misses of what to avoid, because going forward, they're not going to be around. It's going to be a done deal. So we, as I said, we're going to cover hits and misses, what to invest in and what not to, again, being very conscious of budgets and lifestyles, and just what is just stupid. I have to just say, there's a lot of stupid out there. Also, we're going to cover what is going to be best on your body shape. So please think about questions that you want to ask me, and you'll be able to type them in, and we'll get to questions at the very end. Now, there are so many fashion landmines out there this spring. In fact, if any of you were to see me in the stores, you would see me walking around, shaking my head, talking to myself, and rolling my eyes. Because there's stuff out there that I just can't believe manufacturers are manufacturing at all. It's astounding. And I almost wanted to call them out and say, do you think women are dumb that we're going to buy that stuff and think we're going to look good in it? Really? Even the models on the runway don't look good. So how do you think the average American woman is going to look good in that? So I don't know what's going on. One of these days when I rule the fashion world, I will get everybody on board. So let me just share a little bit about myself with you in case you don't know who I am. I'm Lori Ann Robinson. I am a Los Angeles-based image and fashion and beauty consultant. And I started my business, my fashion consulting business, and I'm in, actually, at the end of the month will be my 14th year as an entrepreneur. I know it's kind of it's like, wow, really? On March 30th, I'll be in, that's when I got my business license. So I consider that my anniversary. It's when I went and got the license and it was all approved. So I have been before that, I was a costume designer, modern day costume designer. I was in the entertainment industry for over 30 years, and I lived to tell the story. And a lot of what's going on is so very true. That's all I'm going to say about that right now, because it's very, very, very true. So I decided after a 30-year career in entertainment that it was time to move on to do something else. I was lucky enough to kind of segue out before a lot of the big changes, as you know what I mean, were happening. But I was thrilled to be in the industry for the 30 years I was. I was able to garner 4 Emmy nominations and I just loved my television work, and I really did. And I loved working with many of the actors and being super creative. And there were times when it was sort of no holds barred, and I could just really be creative and do my thing. And that was just filling my soul. Right now, I work with private clients, men and women, mostly over 40, that are challenged with what to wear in this current climate of clothing, what to wear that's going to look the best on their body shapes. And, weight fluctuates for both men and women. Women are not just, don't get the prize on that one. Men have it too. They fluctuate, with the loss of testosterone. We have cortisol, build up hormones, everything else, that the weight is shifting around on us too. So what maybe we could wear, I've totally noticed what I could wear 4 years ago, I can't wear now because stuff is shifting and the size is just the same, but stuff is moving around and I'm not digging it at all. And so I've got big plastic bags ready to go off to the charity because it's just not working for me anymore. And I just don't think it's gonna work for me anymore, to tell you the honest good God truth, because things have shifted. So you have to accept that. So my point is, accept that. Don't make yourself crazy about it. And you have to move on. And you just have to realize, well, I could diet my brains out. I could get liposuction. I could have a tummy tuck. I could, sky's the limit. Exercise my brains, diet, everything. And it's sometimes just not going to help. It's just the way we are in the aging process and things that happen to our bodies. Now, it's not everybody, but a majority of us. And what my clients come to me about, it's happening to them. Maybe I've got clients that I've worked with for many years, and I've seen all the incarnations of sizing. And we're just, you just have to keep up, and you just realize you still can look great no matter what your size. So that's the key point there. No matter what your size, you still can look great. So I just don't want people to get hung up on the fact that they're not a certain size, so they can't ever look good, and they have to hide and wear bag of rag clothes. That's not true whatsoever. You just have to embrace the changes in your body and embrace the fact that you're going to be a different size now, and just go with the flow. Just don't beat yourself up about it, because life is tough enough without beating yourself up about a stupid number on a size tag. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to share the screen. Now let's hope this works. This works just fine. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Yay. All right. Can everybody see that? My spring preview? You all seeing that? Someone just type the yes. You can see it. Okay. Is everyone able? Okay, very good. All right. So let's move on with this. Let's start talking about colors. If you are a Facebook friend or an Instagram friend, I have done posts about this, about colors and what's coming up this spring. Now, sky's kind of the limit on the colors. There's a lot of going on. There are, as most seasons, as in, for spring seasons, we tend to have a lot of brights, and then we'll do the pastels too. So that is what's going on this particular spring season. So as you can see, we've got the brights, and this palette doesn't show all of the pastels. So if you took a lot of these colors and you softened them, you added white to them, you would see what they are as far as, in the pastel versions. So there's a lot of different choices out there. Now, the main color for spring is this Pantone Ultraviolet, and that's actually the color of the year, is that purple tone. And you're going to be seeing that throughout the year, even into the fall, we're going to see it. And it's a lovely color if you can wear purple. Purple's not for everybody. So as I said, you're going to see it in a lighter version. You'll even see it in the darker version too. And also, don't forget classic colors. Navy blue, going strong still. Love navy blue. I can't stress navy blue enough and how great it looks on you if black is too harsh. I think navy blue is such a beautiful color. It's sophisticated. It's absolutely gorgeous. And don't be afraid of it. And it works very similar to the black, actually. You know, there's a lot of different things that you can wear with navy blue that you can also, you know, work with the black. So don't be afraid of that one. The pale gray, well, that's kind of hit and miss if that was going to work on you. And I love the warm sand, and then coconut milk, which is just a fancy term, basically white, or like an oystery white. But that's sort of what's always happening in spring, summer. We get that oystery white going on in some different version. Okay, so trends. What are the trends? As I said, brights and pastels. Now, here's where it gets really tricky, is with ruffles and fringe and flounces. Oh boy, this is where a lot of the landmines do fall, because this can make you look like a little girl. It can make you look like a boho hippie. It can go wrong very, very, very fast. So I'm going to, when I get into the showing you some of the fashion, I'm going to show you how that truly can go seriously wrong, wearing the ruffles and the fringe and the flounces. Now, this is an interesting ad. This particular spring, we're going to see a lot of plaids, but they're not like the plaids you see in the fall. They're a softer plaid, a muted plaid, a lot of grays, very soft gray that gets mixed with a pale pink or pale blue or a peach. So that's an interesting twist to see the plaids this time of year. Of course, florals are still going strong. We cannot get away from the florals. Stripes, and that's usually what happens during this time of year. We see a lot of stripes going on. Next on to statement sleeves. We are still going with the statement sleeves. We can't seem to get enough of the statement sleeves. They are just crazy still. And they're, again, not for everybody, and I'm going to go over some of those. I have a problem with a lot of those sleeves because if they're not done quite right, they can actually add weight and make you look heavier. And I'll show you what I mean by that. And who wants that? Really? Seriously? Come on, designers. It's not attractive. The off the shoulder going strong, and so is the cold shoulder. And if any of you are confused what the cold shoulder is, this was something that went on in the 80s with Donna Karan. She was the one that sort of coined it, where it's an open shoulder, usually just like a keyhole. The shoulders are exposed. And I get questions about, is that appropriate to wear to the office? And I have a resounding no for the majority of offices. If you're in a hardcore business type of situation, say the financial industry or some big corporate law firm or something like that, it's not appropriate. But if you're in a more artistic endeavor, if you're in advertising, marketing, fashion industry, something where it's a little bit more expected to be a little bit more avant-garde, then it's okay. But for most business, it's not good to have that cold shoulder. Even though it's just a little shoulder, it's not a good thing. And I'm hearing that from HR people. They're just like, no, on the cold shoulder. Fabrics are this season soft, fluid, very pretty, which tends to happen in this spring season. But we're seeing more chiffons this year, and lace is still going strong. I forgot to put lace down, which I'm wearing tonight, a lace dress. Lace is still pushing forward. And actually, lace can be really good as far as a camouflage situation because you treat it as a print. And remember how I always say prints are camouflaging? So if you've got a little something extra going on, it's more forgiving than a lot of the bright or pastel solid colors. Let's put it that way. Okay, so don't forget the lace, along with, as I said, the chiffons. Suits are back. Yeah, suits have been missing for a long time. And it was hard pressed to find a really great woman's suit. The suits that are back tend to have a pant with them. A wide leg. Wide legs are back in style. So it's more of a high-waisted with a little bit of I'm not wide legs, but a wider leg on them. Also, the crop pants are going forward. So for a very modern suit look, we're doing more of a classic blazer, either 2-button, 3-button. It could be double-breasted blazer style jacket, so they're longer, and the wide leg pant or the crop pant. That is just like the epitome of that modern suit look. Now, if you don't like that wide leg pant, there's an alteration that can be done that you can take those legs in. So if you wanted just have more of a classic trouser and couldn't find it, then you can take the legs in down at the bottom. It's an easy alteration. Can't do much with those crop pants, but with the wide legs you can. Now denim, denim, I don't know where Los Angeles would actually be without denim. Denim in all incarnations is going on. We have the dark denim, the light denim, the whole, what I call the holy ripped denim, which I will say, and I'll probably say it on every webinar that I talk about fashion, that is not a good look for women, I would say, late 40s on. It is just not good. It makes you look like you're trying too hard to have that ripped up denim. I don't think it's attractive at all. You're much better off with a nice dark indigo jean and something that fits you well, and not some baggy jean. That just, it's not a good look. The denim and denim. So we're having a lot of denim jackets with the denim pants. Remember, that was so passe there for a while. We didn't dare ever do that. Now it's back. And you can go the denim and denim. But what you do is you do a lighter denim and a darker denim, not usually the same match on denim. So that's how you get around that. But the denim jackets, and also denim jackets in softer colors. So denim jackets go in and out, but it's the classic cut denim jacket and all sorts of different colors. Embellishments, lots of embellishments. Again, soutache braiding, lace, sparkles, a lot of three-dimensional flowers on clothes, just stuff that cringes a dry cleaner, frankly. If you've ever met a dry cleaner, they cringe at that kind of stuff because that is such extra care for them. And just to note that, so if you do buy something with a lot of embellishment, it's going to cost you more to get it cleaned. That's usually something you can't hand wash either. They have to do really special care on it because otherwise you'll get it back in shreds. And trust me, from working in television, this I know well, very well, unfortunately, and it was not a pretty sight. Okay, so let's start with dresses. Dresses are still going forward. Let me just get a little sip of water. Okay, so dry here. I mean, it's wet out there in Los Angeles. It's wet as far as rain, but The air is so dry. Dresses, still going strong on the dresses, which I'm thrilled about because I think it's such an easy way to dress. No pun intended. You don't really have to think about it. You just put it on. And it's not a big deal. You know, you don't have to think of a top and the skirt and the jacket and the blah, 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 blah. You know, it's just an easy peasy thing to do. Now, a lot of these dresses, you can put a sweater on over top, though I'm not seeing a lot of the cardigan sweaters. I'm still seeing some of the little bolero cardigan sweaters occasionally out there, but I'm not seeing a plethora of cardigans. I'm seeing more jackets. And the jacket then with a dress, it's going to probably be much better for you if you take a shorter jacket than a longer jacket with a dress, because there's a proportional thing that's just not going to look right. Okay, so we still have the lace going strong. Now, that bell sleeve on that orangey coral dress, that is a very flattering sleeve, actually. That's not, because it's tight up at the top, so it's not going to add the weight, and it's just pretty around the wrist. It's very feminine, very pretty, even if that was in a top versus a dress. You just have to be incredibly careful around candles, and if you're eating something with gravy and salad dressing, because trust me, it could be a nightmare, and I have endured that. So floral dresses. So we have the sheath, the white dress with the flowers, floral, and as we've got the dress all the way over to the right with flowers, lots of flowers. We love our flowers this time of year. Again, camouflaging. Now, the dress in the center, the yellow print, that's a lotta. This is where it's going really wrong. It got one sleeve, and one sleeve is flouncy, then there's a big ruffle across the front, then there's a ruffle down the front. I am seeing so much of this type of dress out there. It's not even funny. And it really, I just don't understand. It is so much dress. It wears you, unless you're 9 feet tall. It's just too many details. It's called overkill. And if you just didn't know if you were a designer, I remember when I was in art school, if you were just overworking something and you just didn't know where to stop, that's what these dresses remind me of. And I'm seeing them in the stores, and they're laughable, absolutely laughable. I truly don't know many women that are going to look terrific in those dresses. So those are big ones to avoid. You could take a piece of the trend. So if you do like the flounce, which is a flounce is like a ruffle, but not quite as gathered. A flounce is a little bit cut on the bias, a little bit softer, not so ruffly. Then, you know, you could do something like that with a flounce on the bottom of the dress or a flouncy sleeve. But just so many elements, it's just too much. Again, with the royal blue, we've got the cold shoulder, which for a cocktail party, that'd be a great dress, not for work. That's a great dress for an evening out, cocktail party, wedding. I know weddings will be coming up very soon, and graduations and all that kind of fun stuff. A good work dress is the blue floral. It's kind of that classic 70s look of a dress. You remember that type of soft crepe de chine dress that was very popular in the 70s. And in the 70s, we tended to wear long sleeves all the time. There wasn't a lot of the sleeveless. And here's, you know, just more of a soft classic long sleeve with a tie waist. So that the softness of that fabric is very feminine, very pretty. And then we talked about the floral. So that's kind of what's going on with the dresses. Blouses and tops. So I added a lot here of the blouses and tops because there's a lot to talk about. Again, there's the prints. Again, we're going to talk about the cold shoulder. And you see with this one, now I'm going to do something here. I'm going to do a little drawing because I want to illustrate something. You see this? This is when it starts adding weight. This is when, if you have a full bust line, it's going to make you look bigger. It is going to make your arms look heavier, and it's going to make your shoulders look broader. That is, if you are fairly flat-chested, narrow-shouldered, and on the thinner side, then go for it. But if you've got extra weight going on in your upper body, not so good, because there's nothing see, it all is connected right there. You don't have any space, and it's just one big blob. Okay, so that's my issue with some of these tops. I much prefer this, where it crosses over, it has a tie, and has that's actually a pleated sleeve. This is much prettier, and this would look great if you either had a full bust or a flatter chest. If you have a tummy, this is very disguising. This type of detail, very disguising and camouflaging. This top over here is good on the camouflaging, because this area is camouflaged by the print, and it's a soft, it's not form-fitting, it's a soft fabric. So this is good, especially if you have a tummy, and if you want to keep this area open, because this will always, especially a V, will always make you look thinner than to wear something like this. Now this jewel neck is really beautiful, and it just keeps the emphasis up around your face. This would be fine if you were, big busted, flat chested, and it's a very classic lean sweater look. And it's that warm taupey color. And then you've got the jewels, which actually that's nice and reflective for up around your face. That's actually very, very pretty. As you know, I say, have color up around your face. The lavender, if you want to try one of the trends, again, good, because this middle section is camouflaged by the softness of the blouse. That's one thing. None of these blouses are form-fitting. So that's what I love about this particular season, because if you've got midriff issues, it really works well. And again, nobody's got fat wrists, so wrist detail is quite lovely on that little petal. And actually those are pleated little petals. It's quite pretty. But something like that is easy to wear over a straight skirt or a pair of pants or even a jean, and you're ready to go. It's sort of out the door, maybe a long necklace to sort of break up some of that purple. I think I would do, something long. Oh yeah, look at, yeah. And I was a fashion illustrator, but this is a very wide pen. A long necklace to make that look really quite pretty. So for more of a casual look, we've got the white. And if you want to try something with the fringe detail, there's fringes on the sleeve. But again, this area is soft fabric. So, and it drapes nicely. And again, if you want to do, again, a little bit of the trend and see with a jean, and you've got the soft blouse with the tie. If you want to try the off the shoulder, again, this would be more for maybe a luncheon, a dinner out, could be a garden party. Many different types of events that you feel that the off the shoulder would be appropriate at. And I love the little sleeve here with a little bit of detail, because it's not just tutu. And again, it just glides over your body and glides over your hips. So this is good for a gal that's got fuller hip and maybe even tummy too. And then once you narrow it on the pant, that's going to instantly make you look thinner, because you've got the tunic. Always remember, you pick volume for one part of your body. So the upper half of your body is got the volume with the top. So you want to stay skinny on a narrow fit of whatever it is, a skirt or a pant on the bottom. That is a surefire trick to take at least 10 pounds off. Trust me on that. And then we've got the yellow. So, another just bright color. So they're very similar in these tops, but some of these details are a lot less than, say, this one with all of that going on. So if you want to try this with the detail, and you're going to be hard pressed not to, because there's a lot of it out there. Just about every manufacturer is doing something. It's like they all got on board with the flouncy sleeve. But what I do like, again, is the fluidity of the top, and they're cutting them a little bit longer. So that's nice too. So that's a bit more of a camouflaging circumstance there. So, okay, let me just get out of that. And okay, let's see. All right, jackets and suits. Again, I need to, let's see, hold on. I need to clear my drawing. There we go. Okay, that's a fun little feature. I like that. As I said, we're talking about suits and classic suits with that turquoisey blue. I'm not saying you're going to be wearing that without a blouse, but see, it's a very classic blazer style, and there's a softness to it. It's not, there's a lot of suits out there that are not that hard fabric and a lot of interfacing in them. They have a softer look, almost like what we were doing in the 90s with the soft, almost, I'm not going to say unconstructed, but it was just a softer feel of the jacket, and the fabrics were more fluid. And then we have the stripe. Again, we're going to see a lot of the stripes, and I love stripes. Again, they can be incredibly camouflaging, and don't be afraid of the horizontal stripes at all. As long as it's not cut making you look like a box, if there's some shape to it, and actually that jacket, I've seen it in person, does have shape to it. Now, I'm going to give you all a big tip as far as if you want to wear a shorter jacket, even if you want to wear a jacket shorter. Let me get my little pen back. Let me get my little pen. This is the cool thing. Even if you want to wear a jacket, say, to that length, wearing a top this length underneath is a wonderful camouflaging, stylish, modern way to wear something where you want to do a little bit of coverage. What I mean by that, if you've got a narrow jean or a legging, you want to, what do I say? Cover the crotch area. Here's your workaround. This is what you do. You get a tank or a top or a blouse that's longer, that covers the crotch. Don't worry that the jacket is not long enough. The matchy of the top and the jacket is a bit of an older look. This is the modern. This is what you want to do. This is the modern look and a great workaround. Now, you could also put a narrow skirt with that if you didn't want to do the pants, okay? So don't be afraid of that. And how much of the tail is sticking out. So here's more of that classic Chanel look. See, there's that little bit of fringe detail up on the collar. This is still going strong. I love these jackets. They're usually a textured fabric, a little bit of what you call a boucle or a tweed, and I think they're really beautiful, and they're classics. They're going to be around for a long time, and they have been around for a long time, and I say if you like that look, please pick one up, and a lot of them are non-buttoned in the front, just, they come just straight down. Now, if it's a little boxy on you, you can have it shaped a little bit. You can have it taken in a little bit on the side, and shaped if it's a little too boxy. But I'm seeing a lot of those jackets, not only in the solids, but in different tweed variations. This kimono style is still going strong. Okay, so it almost looks like you're wearing a bathrobe. But I like the fact that it's shorter. I think it's a great camouflaging piece for hips, thighs, belly, bust, big arms, you name it. And again, you've got a pretty floral, and you can keep something very simple underneath with a jacket like that. And it's soft fabric, so they're usually rayons. If you can find a silk one, that's fabulous. You might even find poly. Since most of the clothes these days have so much poly in them, it's hard to find completely natural fabrics. But that's the manufacturer's choice, and it's easier and cheaper for them, basically. We have a little floral jacket. This is actually quite cute and a little tropical floral. So this would take you a million different places. And again, you can just keep it really simple underneath. Cute with the flowers. You can change it up, especially if the flowers all are in your color range that looks really good on you. I'm seeing these types of jackets in all price points. All price points. It's I even saw them at Nordstrom's Rack. Yeah, because I shop everywhere. I am all over the board. Gingham, and I forgot to talk about that earlier. I'm seeing gingham again, a return of gingham. Yeah, in checks. Blouses, jackets, pants. It's very classic, very preppy. And it's a very spring thing, I think. I don't know if I'm totally on board with it. I kind of like it in a dress, if it's just the right style of a dress, like more of a summer dress, more of a sheathy summer dress, or even if it was a sundress. I'm not sure if I would have a whole jacket of it, because that one, it can actually, if you're not careful, that type of check can actually maybe make you look a little bit bigger. It's not as quite as camouflaging. Yeah, it's so that one you have to try. You got to work it on the pants too, because if you have big thighs and a big tush, no, it's not going to do well on the bottom. You have to be incredibly narrow hipped to wear plaids, checks like that, anything with that much pattern. You have to stay away from your lower half with, because it will, as so much of the floral does camouflage, that can actually emphasize. Again, we're going to talk about, here's the denim jacket in a red. So you might even have some of those in your closet from past seasons. And as I said, there's lots of the denim, not only in the brights, but I'm seeing an incredible amount in the soft colors. And then we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, I wanted to clear my drawing and get rid of that. So move on. Okay, did that. All right. So yeah, here's what I wanted to talk about is the pants. Straight leg pants, a lot of them in this jean look right here. Let me get my little trusty pen, my draw, right there. Okay, this is a tough look to wear. You need to have a very boy body. If you have curves, this is not going to look good. It's just too straight. It's an ankle length. They are in soft pastel colors. Not a good look. Again, you have to be very thin at the bottom in order to really rock that look out. That I think we should leave for the young girls. And you're going to see a lot of it. And I'm seeing it across the board in all the stores. So all I'm saying is beware of that one. It's not the most attractive look if you've got some extra weight in the belly or in the legs or in the tush. Okay, so here we have the nice softer plaid pant. So see, the leg isn't so bad on this one. It's a little bit wider, but it's not, like this one. This is what I'm referring to on a wide leg. See, it's a high waist, and look at there is the rise is really long, and it's a really high waist. Again, if you have long legs, but this is really good if you've got heavy thighs and you're a little on the hippie side too. This balances out. This is a longer, leaner pant that looks good on a lot of body types, except if you're if you're too hippie, again, with the plaid, it's not so great. But if your hips aren't as pronounced, then go for the plaid. If hips are pronounced, I would say go with the solids and with the wide. It's not quite an elephant leg, but it's just what they call a wide leg. But I love the high-waisted. I just do, because a lot of times you can get that to come up over the belly. And if you wear a nice little foundation piece and that can push your belly down a little bit, that can be really good. Pleated skirts. Boy, knife pleats, which is kind of unusual. That's usually a fall kind of thing, but we're seeing them in patterns and prints. Again, not an easy look. I love the fluidity of the fabric, but be careful of that one. You're going to have to try it on. It depends on the pleats and how the pleats are constructed, whether or not it's going to look attractive on your lower half. And it depends on your belly and your hips and how that's going to work. So you need to try that on and see if you can do it. Now, this is perfectly fine if you wear something over top of it. You know, so say you had a top that you had over top of it to cover that area, but it has to be a little bit more form-fitting, or a jacket. But this one is definitely a try-on, and they are longer, so you have to make sure you don't look squatty. Excellent if you have not the best knees and heavier thighs. That's a good choice. We have the floral skirt here, narrow, which again is going to be great with jackets or something even a little bit fuller on the top, as far as a tunic, a little more of one of those fluid blouses. And because this is very narrow, and I say look for these in stretch. Stretch will be your best friend in one of these skirts. Trust me on that one. You'll be thinking, oh no, I can't wear that. But if you wear something longer over top and you just see a little bit of this, because it's so narrow here, it's going to make you look a lot thinner. So it's a really good camouflage. Okay, this is just like bad on so many levels, I can't even go there. A lot of that out there. Fabric's beautiful, color's beautiful, but beware of that stuff. It's kind of a beachy look. That's just a tough one. That style, so many things I want to say. I mean, if you want to try one, again, for the summertime, but it's a lot of going on. If you have short legs, not so great. And it could, that flounce, depending where that hits you, that might make your hips look bigger. So just watch that one. You know, really take a good, if you're in the store, take a really good hard look in the mirror at that and make sure you look good from all the angles, because that one, you might just want to keep it. It'd be a great beach cover up, you know, if you want to just throw on a skirt over your swimsuit. That might be kind of a fun thing to do. But yeah, wearing it out and about, I don't know. It's not a work thing. Definitely. Okay, let me clear my drawing. And I'm getting the hang of that. All right. Okay, let's move on. Oh gosh, I'm gonna hurry up. Jewelry, handbags, scarves. The round handbag, one of the most popular shapes for this season. You know, we have the satchels and all that are still going strong, but the round handbag, oval, round, those are the ones that are going to be at the forefront. A lot of straw, lots and lots and lots of straw. So if you are one of those gals that likes a really good straw bag, you're going to be very happy, because there's a lot of straw. Scarves, pretty scarves, don't forget those. They add such dimension to your outfit. It's pretty up around your face. Don't forget the scarves in pretty soft colors. Now, here's the thing. Jewelry is running the gamut, and I went really kind of quick on the jewelry here on this page because, let me get my little pen again. These tassel-y earrings. Not my favorites. Very boho. And that tassel-y yarn, thread, whatever you want to call it, is not going to hold up well. So if you want to wear them just for the season and throw them out, if you're going to get them at a lesser price, don't spend a lot of money on those. They're not going to hold up well. You have to be very careful with that kind of stuff. It's going to start raveling and pulling, and you're going to have to get little scissors and trim them. So those are not my favorite looks on earrings. With that wrapped thread here too on necklaces and earrings. You see some of the earrings that are just the wrapped balls of thread. You're just going to have to be very careful with them, because once those pull, or you can't really knock them around, they get very dirty. They'll get makeup on them. It's going to be really hard to keep up with them. So don't spend a lot of money. If you want to wear that trend, that's kind of one of those throwaway things. Get it in one of the cheaper stores if you want to wear it, and so you don't worry about it. But we've got the big jewelry still going forward, colorful, and we have tons of this. That soft, layered look, total polar opposite from this. So, you know, if you're a gal that likes a softer look and not like the big chunka-lunka wonka jewelry, then you can go for these layered necklaces. And again, the sky's the limit as far as pricing goes. I see them in all the stores, in all price points. This has been going on for a while, and actually they're quite pretty. They really look lovely with the softer fabric dresses, you know, with a chiffon type dress. It's a really pretty look, or the softer blouses with the more fine fabrics. It's a nice change from the big chunkalunka necklaces. And then there's a lot of sort of a feathery look, but they're not exactly feathers. They're beads. It almost reminds me of Indian jewelry, you know, where a lot of the turquoise was in those long marquise shapes, and they're doing that with beads and under the little beads on them. So it's very, what I say, crafty. It looks crafty, the jewelry this particular season. It's not fine jewelry, a lot of it. It's very, I can't say anything but crafty. That's what I'm going to say. Sticking to that story. Okay, let's move on before I can get to my questions. All right, oops, nope, I got to get rid of my pen. Okay, let's go. Shoes. Okay, oops, I forgot the sunglasses. Oh, I'll just verbally tell you. Shoes, we're seeing lower heels, kitten heels, love those. A lot of embellishment. You've got feathers, you've got jewels, you've got sparkles, you name it. It's on a shoe right now. They're little works of art. That look has been going on for a couple of seasons, still going strong, still going strong. We can't get enough of embellished shoes. We're having multicolored shoes. We have got slingbacks. The pointed toe is back with a vengeance. The mule is back, which it has been, and it just keeps on going with a pointy toe. But don't forget the sneakers. I've never seen so many sneakers in my entire life, because a lot of the big fashion mavens are taken to the streets in sneakers. Gone are the high stiletto. I mean, they're not gone, but they're not wearing them on the street anymore. They're going for comfort and functionality, and they're going with the sneaker. And there's sneakers, sparkle sneakers, fabric sneakers, metallic sneakers, you name it. There is a sneaker that will fit your personality. Okay, so a lot of you gals that have foot problems, you're going to love that idea of having some cute sneakers in your wardrobe. Sandals still going strong, color, definitely lots of color. And mix up your colors. with your shoes. That's where you can really have fun and have a pop of color. And you don't have to do all the matchy match stuff. If you want to look more modern, don't do the matchy match. Kind of mix it up. And then I love a good multicolored shoe that you can have, like that's your core shoe for the spring, summer, that you wear with everything, along with a metallic shoe. You can wear it with everything. And that's how you kind of save on buying a lot of different shoes if you have multicolored or metallic shoes. Okay, so that's a good trick. Sunglasses, which I forgot to put on here, are a lot of the mirrored sunglasses, but they're very flat. If you've noticed them in the stores, there's no contour, there's no curve to the glasses. They're flat across. Now, I've not personally tried them on yet to know if that, I don't even know if you can have them with prescription that flat. So I don't know if that would even work, but if you don't need a prescription sunglass, that's a very modern thing to have in your repertoire, is the flat glasses, and to do a fun metallic. You could do a blue metallic, pink metallic, of the mirrored. They're the old-fashioned, like, cop mirrored glasses, but they've updated them, and they're big. They're very big and bold, almost like the designer in the 60s, Courrèges, did these big, bold glasses. And the designers are all doing them, and then they're going to trickle down into the lesser stores, and you'll be able to pick them up for $3. So if you like that look and you want to do something a little trendy and modern, then you can give that one a try. Okay, so there we are. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, there we go. There we go. All righty. Now, what I would love to do right now is questions. And then I'm also going to share a link with you too. So okay, I'm going to try to do that. Let's see if I did this right here. Let's see if I can make myself a little bit smaller. Can I? Okay, anybody have any questions? Can you all hear me still? Questions? Okay. Let's see. I see the chat. Hold on. All right, hold on a minute. Let me move this. Okay. How do you transition to color from your plain old black and blue? I know, Nancy. I know it's hard, isn't it? Okay, here's my workaround. If you want to wear the dark colors, keep them on the bottom and start adding in color on your upper half. That's where I say spend your dollars on your upper half, because that's what most people are seeing anyway. So you start small. You might not want to go with some of those brights. That might be a little too for you. Go with either a medium tone, or if pastels look good on you. I don't know if pastels are really going to be your thing, but then go for what I call a medium tone. Fifi's wearing a jade. She's in a medium tone right now. It's not too bright, not too dark, and not too light. Okay, so they go with a medium tone and start with just doing some tops. Now, if that still scares you, trust me, you will get comments about how much better you look when you start wearing some color. People will notice, definitely. Go with jewelry. Do a pretty scarf in a color that's really flattering on you. That's how you can start. If you don't want to just go into the top yet, and put a pretty scarf or jewelry over top of your darks. But try to phase out of all that dark around your face, because as you like the jade, no pastels. Yeah, I don't think you're a pastel girl. But if you are a pastel, if you do look good in pastels, then try, work in some pastels into your wardrobe. You still can wear them with the darks. Don't worry about the bottom half. You still can wear them with the navies and the blacks and the dark gray. So that's not a problem. But just keep it lighter up around your face. Yeah, the jade is really pretty. Jade's a really, there's a lot of yellow and then there's a lot of blue in this jade. I know on camera it probably is not showing as much, it might showing more blue, but it's actually more universally, it's almost like that teal color. So it works on a lot of different skin tones. You've never been into scarves? Yeah, if you like jewelry. But scarves don't, you don't have to always wrap them around. You can just let them hang too. That's another option. There's a lot of scarves that you just, let drape around your neck and you don't have to get all fancy tying them. But if you don't like them at all, yes, definitely go with the jewelry. All right, here we go with questions coming in. All right, some suggestions for good stores for over 40 stylish clothes? Okay, wow, Vicki, what a great question. Okay, within stores there are certain lines, manufacturers that work for the over 40 gal. Then just stores. If it's just a store, I don't want to say J. Jill can be a little too frumpy dumpy, bag of raggy. They will have some things in there. White Black Market went a little bit, you can get some pieces, but they went a little bit too youth oriented. I do like, and a lot of the department stores are going the way of the youth. Now I'm going to just talk about here in California, Nordstrom's has now changed their entire demographic, it seems. And I was in there the other day and there was nothing in there really for an over 40 woman that didn't want to spend $2,000. It's rather disconcerting because that used to be a core store for that age group and they just bypassing it now. And it's very sad, but there are certain things within, if you have a really good Macy's around you, Michael Kors is a good line. Karen Kane is really good also. Or Bloomingdale's too. Pretty much these are in Bloomingdale's. Some of the INC pieces are good. Even some of the Vince Camuto, some of the pieces are good. It's hard to, so I would say Bloomingdale's and Macy's is good depending where you live. Where do you live? Lord & Taylor is usually fairly good if you're living on the East Coast. That's a good one too. Oh, you're West Side. Okay. All righty. Okie dokie. Not the Bloomingdale's over there though. I will tell you that. That's what I call the hipster Bloomingdale's. That's not for anybody over size 8 and over age 30. Yeah, there's different versions of Bloomingdale's. There's a really good Bloomingdale's in the San Fernando Valley and Sherman Oaks that is much more conducive to us gals over 40. Okay, so not all stores are created equal. That's the other thing. Yeah, you don't want to do, you like the blue? Okay. Oh, good. Well, there's a lot of blue out there, Nancy. So invest now because next season there might not be. We might be back to incredibly autumnal colors and no blue. So I always say if you have certain colors that you wear really well and they're in the stores, bite the bullet, buy them now because you might not find them again for, a couple of seasons. And then what are you going to do? Yeah, it's hit or miss on Black or White Market. They went an odd way. It's amazing with the evolution of these stores, what I see. I know Chico's is trying to get a little hipper. That's good for, I think, some just like kick around. It's great for some travel clothes because a lot of that stuff doesn't wrinkle. But the sizing I find is peculiar. If you're a larger woman, it's great. If you're more on the petite side, I think it's weird. It's a little bit harder to wear. Yeah, you don't want to be too embellished either. A little goes a long way. An entire jacket filled with rhinestones. You don't want to look like a teenager, nor do you want to look like a rock and roll star, unless you are a rock and roll star. But it's a little sparkle goes a long way on some of that stuff. I usually say if you're going to do the sparkle element, pick one area that you're going to do it on. One piece of clothing. So if you're going to do it on your shoes, then you don't do it on your clothes. If you're going to do it on your jacket, you don't do it on your top and your jeans and your purse. You know, just pick one area that you're going to sparkle. Not all of them. I see too many mistakes of let's do it all, like a la 80s. So you don't want to have that. Okay. Yeah, Nancy, you've got Lord & Taylor. Lord & Taylor, I think, from what I see online, they are still going after their core market of women, like real women, versus, I know they want to go with the youth also, but I think they still have that demographic that shops there. Whereas here in Los Angeles, I swear, if you're over 30 and over a size 8, it's a struggle. I get it. Like you would not believe. It's tough. Okay, yeah, more classic, yeah. If you're more classic, then you're just going to avoid. There's enough out there without all the embellishment and sparkles. There's more on the simple lines. And you can look at also some of the pieces of Donna Karan, though she's not even designing the line anymore. Some of her stuff has just gotten really kind of crazy. There are a few things with Eileen Fisher could be good if they're not too, again, bag-a-raggy looking. Also, Tory Burch have some really nice pieces. And Calvin Klein. I had to visually go around the store in my mind. Calvin Klein is great for more tailored, and they always have good dresses. And they're really keeping up with the market as far as keeping that classic look going, so they don't get involved with a lot of the trends that are over the top. If they do a trend, they'll do a little spattering of it. They won't go full hog on it like some of the other designers will. They'll keep it to more of a minimum, which I really like. Okay. All right, everybody. Let me just see if I did this. Hold on just a minute. I need to exit my full screen. Let me give you a link. If you want to have a conversation with me, hold on just a minute. Hold on. Then you can go here and am I going to do this right here? Yes, I am. Alrighty. You can go to that link and okay, let me see. Did that go to everybody? Okay. Did I get that? Okay, wait a minute. Nancy, did that just go to you? Hold on. I want it to go to everybody. No. Okay, let's see. Something peculiar just happened. Okay, thanks, Nancy. I don't know why it was doing that. Oh, there we go. Everyone. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you want to have a conversation with me, I've got some time in the next couple of weeks. So I'm offering complimentary free 30-minute discussion. So if you are in flux and really just not sure what to do and where to go, and maybe you thought of some questions after the fact, after this webinar is over, then just hit that link and schedule a complimentary 30-minute session with me. Okay, I am going to jump now, and I appreciate everyone's attention and glad you were all on here, and there will be a replay as soon as it gets loaded up. I will be sending that out. And again, I'm thanking all of you for joining me this evening. And there are more webinars to come. I've got some really fun stuff planned for the rest of this year. So just stay tuned. And tell your friends too. Tell them that these are jam-packed, full of information, all right? I appreciate that. And I hope that this system is been a much better system than that other one that I'm still furious about. But anyway, moving on. We're going to be just rocking and rolling this year. Okay, everyone, take care. Have a wonderful rest of your evening and week, and I will see you next month. Okay, take care.